What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the brand new PokeRadar shiny hunting method involving the 17 chain, and I want to talk about if this is actually better than the 40 chain method and my personal experience on it. But guys, if you are new to PokeRadar hunting, it is very simple. One, you need to get the PokeRadar, so you need to have completed the Sinnoh Dex, which means by seeing all 150 Pokemon in the game. Keyword is seeing, not catching. And then you meet Professor Rowan in San Jim Town, and he will give you the National Dex. Once you have the National Dex, you'll get the PokeRadar from Professor Oak. And if you want to have the cool little app I have on the top right hand corner that counts your PokeRadar chain, you can actually go over to here, to the park here on Route 221, and you can talk to Professor Oak and he'll give you the app. So that is all the prerequisites to PokeRadar hunting in the terms of just having the app and having the radar. To have a successful hunt in any method you do, you want to buy a lot of max repels, and you can buy max repels from pretty much any Pokemon store. So just have like 100 some max repels, and you also want to make sure the PokeRadar is the only item that is on your hotkey. As you can see, it is the only item on my hotkey. So when I use the radar, when I hit the plus button, it will be the only item used, and it won't bring up a little menu where I can select. The reason is if you get on something like a bike or use like a rod or something like that, it can kill your PokeRadar chain. So we're just trying to eliminate all error before we actually dive into the new method. So you can PokeRadar shiny hunt any Pokemon that can spawn in grass or swarms. As you can see, I have a Farfetch swarm, and swarms will appear on the map. And if you want to know what your daily swarm is, you just hit the menu and it'll tell you right here where your swarm is. So we're going to be doing a swarm of Farfetch. So to do PokeRadar, one, use your max repel first thing, and then two, you're going to want to go into the grass that you want to hunt in. I do recommend grass that has some sort of distance and at least has 4 squares that you can walk either left or right, top or bottom. The main reason is to keep your chain going. When you PokeRadar hunt, you need to move at least 4 squares away to the next moving bush. So as you can see here, we have 4 bushes that are moving top right, 2 above me and 2 to my left. There are different odds for the different bushes you go to. If a bush is at least 4 tiles away and you capture the Pokemon, and you always want to capture the Pokemon, you have at least a 93% of continuing your chain. And if you don't capture the Pokemon, your chain will automatically be worse by 10% and has a 10% higher chance of breaking. So I always recommend go to the chain that is furthest away from you, at least 4 tiles away. If it's not at least 4 tiles away, then don't go for the encounter there unless you get a shiny bush. It is also important to note that if you don't get the Pokemon you want, like I didn't get the Pokemon I want on my first chain, you can just break the chain by running away, and then you can do a radar reset. And you just have to walk 50 steps with the PokeRadar, and then you can use it again. And the beauty of this is, let's say you are in the middle of your chain, like let's say you're on chain 17, you can just radar reset continuously until you actually get a shiny Pokemon, or you get more favorable bushes, or like in the beginning here, you get a Pokemon you actually want. All right, so we got the Pokemon we actually wanted here, which is Farfetch. So as you saw on that chart before, it's an 83 versus a 93% chance that the chain continues depending on whether I capture or I don't capture it. So we are going to go for the capture. Of course, you want a Pokemon that has False Swipe or has Spore. So False Swipe will lower the Pokemon's HP down to 1, which will make it a lot easier to capture. And Spore makes it so the Pokemon will go to sleep and can make it super easy to capture, because sleeping Pokemon have an increased rate of you capturing it. And of course, you could use different balls as well. Dust balls are going to be best at night. I actually wouldn't have used it right here normally, but I just want to use it because it was at 1 HP. Repeat balls are going to be probably the best overall balls because they have a ×3 capture rate as well for any Pokemon you've already captured. So that can really apply to any situation overall. So I do recommend using a repeat ball or dust ball. However, if you're catching bug types or water types, a net ball actually ends up being the best with a 3.5 multiplier. So we actually got something special here. So one, we have a chain of 1 Farfetch. As you can see in the top right hand corner, make it bigger, you can see that we are all chaining Farfetches here now. So that means all these bushes will have a Farfetch, but also if you have a big bush like this in the bottom, that means the bush will have a hidden ability Pokemon in it. So I will have a hidden ability Farfetch, and the chance of that is a 1 out of 128. Now let's talk about our shiny chances here, and this is where the new method actually comes in. So everything at this point so far has been the same as the previous method. So as you can see, I have a chain of 2 Farfetches. Well, we want to get a chain of 17 in this new method. Before, you wanted to get a chain of like 36 to 40, because at 40 you can see that it's a 1 out of 99 chance of getting a shiny, and you can refer to the chart here that says all the shiny odds for whatever chain you're on. And the reason why this method is so good at shiny hunting in general, no matter what your chain is because you're spawning 4 Pokemon at once, and if you have a shiny, it will most likely show up shiny on the overworld with shiny sparkles. However, when you go into the encounter and it's not shiny sparkles on the overworld, you can still get a full odds shiny 1 out of 4096 on that encounter. So you are rolling the shiny odds 4 times immediately, and then 1 more time on the encounter that is full odds. That is why PokeRadar hunting is amazing. The issue of PokeRadar hunting is you have a 7% chance no matter what to break your chain, even if you do everything perfectly right. And the odds of you getting to a chain of 40 and surpassing that 7% every single time is only a 5% chance. You only have a 5% chance of getting to a chain of 40. And it's incredibly hard to do. I've done a lot of streams, PokeRadar shiny hunting, and it's super hard to get to 40. So a lot of people have this problem. Well, the new tech is to actually get to 17. Because referring to this chart here, with the amount of time it actually takes you to 40, or a really high number, you can actually just get to 17 and PokeRadar reset by walking 50 steps and resetting your bushes, and then you actually have a better chance of getting a shiny in a little bit less time too. Personally, I would actually just go up to 20 just to have a little bit better odds, because even at 20 versus 17, your odds are still going to be very good and your chain's probably not going to break at 20. But when you get past 20, that is where things become a problem. So I do recommend trying out this method and trying to get your chain up to 17 to 20, and then just radar resetting by walking 50 steps. Another reason why the 17 chain is so much better than the 40 chain method is because the amount of time it saves you before you reach your shiny. About on average, it takes about 2 hours to get a shiny when you get your 17 chain just from radar resetting, but the odds of you hitting 40 is gonna really take you about 3 hours of you to get to a chain of 40 and actually sticking on that chain of 40 in radar resetting. And that is of course not including any human error, user error, or your chain just randomly breaking. So you're gonna save an hour if everything goes perfectly right for both methods, which is phenomenal. So an hour difference for the 17 versus the 40 chain. So if you want to save time and you want to get shinies and you don't want to risk your chain breaking, then go with the 17 chain method. Well guys, I hope this video was helpful, and hopefully you get some great shinies with this new PokeRadar shiny method hunting. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.